Good evening, councillors, staff, members of the public. I declare the Ordinary Council meeting on the 27th of November open at 5:30 p.m. Can we please stand? I wish to acknowledge the Gadigal people as the traditional custodians of the land that we're meeting on and recognise their strength, resilience and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Thank you. Item number 3, recording of attendance. This meeting is being live streamed and audio recorded to facilitate community participation for minute-taking purposes, which may be released upon request to third parties. In accordance with Clause 616, the Town of Port Hedland Standing Orders Local Law 2014, members of the public are not permitted to use any visual or audio electronic device or instrument to record the proceeding of any meeting unless that person has been given permission by the presiding member to do so. Members of the public are also reminded that in accordance with Clause 617-4 Standing Orders, mobile phones must be switched off and not be used during the meeting. 3.1 attendance. I note that all councillors are present under the minutes, listed under 3.1 of the minutes. As you may be aware that Councillor Bennett tendered her resignation in November, and this item will be discussed later at 12.1.7 in the meeting. I'd also like to take this opportunity to say a few words. It takes significant commitment to take a role of a councillor, and I'm grateful for Councillor Bennett and for her dedication over the past 3 years she's given the town and her community. And on behalf of the council, I wish Flo Bennett and her family the best wishes, and I'm sure she'll continue to our community in many ways coming forward. Also, I'd like to welcome Alison Bank, the new Director of Community. Thank you, Alison, for joining the town. All the best, and I'm sure you have a wonderful time here. Thank you very much for coming along. And also, welcome Mark to come, our new acting CEO for the next 3 or 4 months, as we go on and search for a new CEO to replace Carl Askew. 3.1 attendance. 3.1 attendance by telephone, internet communication. I have Councillor McRae. Is he logged in yet? Is he ready to go? I can't see his picture on screen. That's all. I want to make sure he can hear us. Sorry? Message? Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll keep moving forward there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, 3.3, apologies. Apologies from Councillor Turner, who's an apology for tonight's meeting. Oh, there you are. Okay. Avery, can you hear me okay, Councillor? Councillor McRae, can you hear me okay? I can't hear you, sorry.
Testing 1, 2, testing.
Okay, yeah, got you. Okay. Thank you, Councillor. You're loud and clear. Thank you. Okay, 3.4, approval of absence. Acting CEO, do you have any approval of absence at all? Councillor Rentz, is approval of absence? Yes. Yes, Councillor Rentz is approved. Yeah, thank you. 3.5, disclosure of interest. Councillors, are there any disclosure of interest on tonight's items? No, thank you. Item number 4, application for approval of absence. CEO, have you received any applications for approval of absence at all? I think Councillor Bello has got one. Yep. Yep.
Just requesting you to approve my leave of absence for the OCM on the 11th of December.
Of December. Okay, thank you, Councillor Rebello. Yeah, a move for that. Yeah, thank you, Councillor. A seconder for that. Second for Councillor Bunko, thank you. Is anyone against? You have a holiday. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Number 5, response to previous questions. Response to questions taken on notice received at the Ordinary Council meeting on the 3rd of October 2024 have been provided to individuals and are detailed in the agenda. Item number 6, public time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for members of the public to ask questions of council regarding on tonight's agenda and business of local government. Clause 6.7-3 of the Town of Wellington Standing Orders, local law requires members of the public wishing to ask questions to complete the question form and place the completed form in the tray provided. If myself, as a providing member, determines that questions and statements are out of order due to offensive or acceptable expression or defamatory, they will not be considered, recorded, nor responded to. So 6.1, I declare public question time open at 5:35 p.m. Do you have any questions at all from the public? Yes, Roger, come forward, state your name and address, thank you.
Roger Higgins, 119 Edgar Street. I came here with the intention of not even stepping up to this microphone to ask a question tonight, but I couldn't help but notice when I arrived here the arrangement of the flags we've got.
So,
Now, prior to coming here, I was having a look at the review of events in Canberra today, and I couldn't help but notice the dominant flying of the Australian flag above the Parliament. So my question is, why is it, if you have a look at the flags, you can see that the one in the centre, it sits higher than the others. Can someone explain to me why it is that the national flag, is not in the centre?
I'll take it on notice, thanks, Roger, but well noted, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I can answer that
Okay.
question.
No, Mr. Luke, that's okay, thank you.
It is a legislated requirement to have the Australian flag sitting higher. It is a federal requirement, federal legislative requirement.
Okay.
So it should be changed, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, we'll change that. Yeah. Thank you, Roger.
Are we able to change that now? If that is the legislative requirement? I mean, to be honest, I hadn't noticed that at other meetings.
We'll have it changed for the next council meeting, don't worry. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
And my second question relates to a matter that I brought to this microphone before, and that relates to payments that were made to the Royal Lifesaving Association. We heard as a result of a question previously when I spoke to the member that's not here today, or he answered the question because he runs that organisation. The question is, how many lifeguards does the town of Port Hedland employ, and what is the quantum of payment that is made to those lifeguards during the course of a period? I'd like to know the answer to that in relation to the 19-month period that my previous questions related to, and it's all on the record, so you'll soon be able to find the actual time frame. So I want to know, number one, we established previously with the questions I'd asked that Royal Lifesaving do not employ any lifeguards, and so I assume it must be the town of Port Hedland, hence the question tonight.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll take that on notice for you. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Roger. Do you have any more public questions at all? Yes, Johnny, come forward, state your name and address, thank you.
Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. John Ashenden, 11 Spoonbill Crescent South. Yeah, I have a couple of questions tonight. My first question, through the chair, if it's okay, is to Camillo Blanco.
Camillo Blanco, you have you answered that question?
Okay, Councillor Blanco, over the past 12 months, you have repeatedly asked Mayor Peter Carter questions regarding his business dealings with Hoban, and among a lot of other questions that you've asked as well, to which the Mayor responded that he would get back to you shortly. Could you please clarify whether the Mayor has since provided answers to these questions?
I haven't received any answers to those questions that I've asked multiple times.
And that's, I've been here, I've heard them over the last 12 months, yeah. All right, so my second question then is to Mayor Carter. Given that these questions have remained unanswered for over 12 months, and that each time the matter is raised, you indicate that a response will be forthcoming. Could you please clarify what you mean by shortly? In the interest of transparency and to assure the public that there is no personal gain being derived from your position, why not address these questions directly and resolve the matter once and for all?
As I said, the question that you asked and the information will be coming. Thank you. Do you have any other questions?
No, I was just
Okay,
wondering.
that's all. That's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any more public questions at all? Okay, I will close public question time at 5:40 p.m. Okay, 6.2, public statement time. I declare public statement time open at 5:40 p.m. CEO, have you received any public statements at all? Have you received any? No? CEO? You haven't received any public statements? No? Okay, thank you. Members of the public, do you have any public statements at all? I will close public statement time at 5:40 p.m. Thank you very much. Okay, 6.3, petition interpretation, presentation submission. There is none. Item number 7, question from members out notice. Are there any questions from elected members at all?
Well, Mr Mayor, I wouldn't want to disappoint you.
So you have some questions?
Yes, I do. I'm just finding them. We have plenty of time. We're ahead of schedule by a couple of hours.
At the moment.
Have we received any response from the PM's office, the Prime Minister's office, on the council-approved motion about the COVID-19 vaccine, or any acknowledgement that they've received the town's documents?
I haven't received any from the Prime Minister's office, but no.
Are you sure, or
I'm
do you
quite sure I haven't received any acknowledgement from the Prime Minister's office.
no acknowledgement or no answer to that?
Not that I'm aware of, Councillor, no.
Thanks. On the on Tuesday, the 21st of May, 24, at the Regional Capitals Australia meeting, you presented a housing proposal in relation to repurposing 40-foot sea containers. I haven't seen that proposal come across the table for council, but you presented it as the deputy chair. Can we get all of the information that you presented to the?
Yes, certainly. I'll get the information for you. Yeah, no problem.
When will we get that?
I can get the two by the next council meeting if you like.
By the end of this council meeting?
But in the next council meeting?
Oh, okay. I was just going to say you're fast. Now, also, can we on that? Can we find out where those container housings are getting built in Vietnam? Where?
I'll give you all the information for that, Councillor, no problem.
Thanks.
Yep.
I was a little bit surprised at the JDAP meeting that we had last week that you objected to that proposal for the FIFO camp on Pullover Way. I think that's what they call it. But you didn't give an explanation. Can I get an explanation as to why you didn't support that motion?
You were at the council. You were at that meeting, Councillor.
I was at the meeting, and you didn't say anything, Mr. Mayor.
I think you should go and listen to the meeting, Councillor, what I said. Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Councillor, I know what I said. Okay, you were there. Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions, Councillor?
I do have another question.
Okay, thank you.
At the JDAP meeting, Mr. Mayor, I seconded the motion and spoke in length on that motion, and you agreed with me on what I said, but you didn't say anything, about opposing it. So, can I get an explanation as to why?
Councillor, if you go back to the meeting, you'll hear exactly what I said, why I opposed it. Okay. Thank you, Councillor. Do you have any other questions?
I do, Mr. Mayor. Yes. In tonight's agenda on 5.1 on page 9, there's some responses there to questions asked by myself on the 30th of October council meeting about the Premier's response to the Headland COVID-19 approved motion. So I really don't see how those answers can be relevant to myself, considering you've asked me to ask the Premier in my private capacity. Now, I asked those questions, and that, by the way, that motion was a motion that was approved by the Port Hedland Council, and the questions were asked by myself as a council member, and as a council member I was representing members of the public who are obviously supporting a motion like this. So I would like those questions answered again, because they're clearly, it's an inappropriate answer. Mr. Mayor, can I get those questions answered again and directed to the people that I've asked them to be directed to?
Okay, we'll take that on notice for you. Thank you.
I also have asked for a copy of the Town of Port Hedland response to the Department of Local Government on the compliance notice that was issued to the town admin. And now I've had a look in my emails and stuff, and I haven't seen any response or documents from the administration on what they sent to the department. Now, I could be wrong there, but has anybody received that? Has anybody seen that? I haven't seen it. Has it been sent out, Mr. Mayor? Do you know?
I haven't received anything back at all at the moment, no.
Okay, so can I ask again that I want the response that was sent to the department in relation to the notice that was issued to the town? And also, while we're at it, because it's been a few months, I'm sure that the department would have come back with a response to the town on improvement measures. Can I also get that correspondence from the department?
We'll get a copy of that for you. Yep.
I sent you an email, Mr. Mayor, in relation to the acting CEO appointment. You haven't answered that email. Am I going to get an answer to that email, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, no, you're not, Councillor. Thank you.
No, I'm not?
No, thank you.
Okay. On the 25th of September, OCM, I asked about the ongoing costs of Decmil. And I noticed in the 25th of September OCM list of payments, there's an extra 93,000 that's been paid to Decmil. Now, again, like I've said before, we've been told this is all, settled, and clearly it is not. Now we're receiving personalised correspondence from Decmil to meet because of the dispute that is apparently over. So, Mr. Mayor, I need all of the additional legal advice or correspondence that has been toing and froing from the administration to Decmil, so we can review it and determine whether we need to make more decisions on this dispute, considering it's a significant amount.
Actually,
is that too much, or
actually, I'll get the Director of Lead to maybe respond to that question for you.
Well, I'm asking for the info,
Yeah.
so we can
Councillor.
determine.
Listen, please. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
So we haven't had any further advice. You had the last. You've had the advice that we received. That was part of the report that you considered. The 93,000, I think, is a contract payment which is to do with the contract that was actually entered into with Decmil, but we'll get you the details of that payment and what it entailed.
Okay, thank you, Director.
Mr. Mayor, I need further clarification on why we're receiving this correspondence ourselves personally as council members. I see some issues with this. You know, that we need to get our own legal advice on to ensure that we are doing the right thing. Because this is something that I haven't come across before. So I'm requesting that we get our own legal advice on the letters that have been sent to council members, Mr. Mayor.
Hang on, Director, I think we've actually done that.
So we did respond to that. We did let Decmil know that it was inappropriate for them to be contacting councillors directly, but there's nothing that we can do to stop them writing to you. We told them that that no councillor would be responding, that they were to go through the town's legal representatives, but you know, there's not really anything that we can do to stop them contacting you directly.
Okay. Could I get that, you know, if we've got any extra legal advice or any extra correspondence, can I get a copy of that so I can have a look at it?
That was
Mr.
actually given to, that's been sent to councillors, Councillor
Already,
Blanco.
yes.
Already, so we haven't had any more since the council meeting.
I haven't had none at all. No, I haven't.
That is correct.
Okay, so. All right, Mr. Mayor, my question still remains relevant. We are clearly getting correspondence from this company.
Well, Councillor, I think it's up to, if they want to send letters out, they can send letters out, but it's irrelevant to us because it's been dealt with by the directors and the lawyers. Okay?
Mr. Mayor,
it's free, they can send out
they
as many
threaten
letters.
legal proceedings,
Councillor,
right? And I want to know that we are in the clear, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sure we're in the clear with Councillor.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I've asked for the reports into the Canberra trip a couple of months ago, and also a breakdown of the costs of $92,500 associated with that travel. I don't seem to have received that. Could I
think that was
ask
it.
for that again?
I'm sure that was already been sent to you, Councillor. I know I got a copy of it as well, and it was broken down over 2 trips, the NGA and the Rising Summit. Everyone got a copy. You not received a copy of that?
I have not seen a copy of
Oh,
that.
I'll make sure you get a copy of that one.
Okay, so the reports were in there as well, were they?
If it was there for you to have a look at, yes.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Do you have the questions at all from councillors?
Yes, I have
Yes,
a
Councillor Butson.
few councillors. My first question is relating back to the OCM in September. I requested information and confirmation if the town of Portland had sent condolences to the Gear family for the contribution to the council for the late Mr. Gear. Has these condolences been sent to the family? If not, why not?
Yes, it has been sent.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. My second question is, I refer to my original request regarding the return of funds allocated but not used for that purpose. I'm again request your confirmation of repayment or alternate of same, which has not been notified to council.
Are you referring to the Rising Summit concert?
Yes, that is.
Okay, as you know, I did go to the Rising Summit concert, but I was actually called away at meetings at Parliament House at that time, so I was there on councillor business. Thank you. Do you have any other questions? Thank you.
Yes, I do. Question 4. Council was notified your visitation to Canberra on Wednesday the 19th. Could you please confirm that this actually took place? If so, could you please advise the purpose of this visit? Was it personal or Town of Port Hedland business?
Was it the 19th of
last week.
last week? That was the RCA. It was actually, I met with about 5 ministers on that day.
Okay, thank you. It is noted on the Town of Port Hedland website that a meeting of the Youth Advisory took place in the chambers on according to the information provided. Could I be advised the method of notification of the meeting to elected members, date and time, please?
I think it was all sent out. I got an email from it. I think. I'll take that on notice. I'm pretty sure every councillor got notified of
No,
that.
I didn't receive an email because I said.
Okay, I'll check into that. Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
The question 5, it was quite amazed to notice that the CEO terminated his employment with the Town of Port Hedland prior to his scheduled date. I understand this was sanctioned by the Mayor and no notification to elected members. Is this correct?
Didn't need it. Thank you.
Pardon?
Yeah, I gave him 2 weeks annual leave. That's correct. Yep,
Yep.
thank you. Yep.
It was, so my 6th question, it was noticed that at present no social function has been organised or, the Town of Port Hedland and the subsequent agreement. Could you please advise what's your schedule for the utilisation and any plans you may have listed in, I'll correct that. The Town of Port Hedland, do we know when we're going to get a report back from the Port Hedland Chamber of Commerce on the partnership that we have with them in the town?
I believe it's still going on. It's not far away, I believe.
Okay,
Yep.
so how
Actually,
often should
I'll-
we be getting these?
I can ask.
reports?
I'll ask Director Kylie, and she can maybe answer for you. Thank you, Kylie.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. There is no current agreement in place between the Chamber and Town. We are working on settling the terms of that at the moment, and following their recent appointment of a new CEO this week, we hope to conclude those negotiations imminently.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions, Councillor? Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
So,
the council resolved to give $300,000 to the Chamber of Commerce. This is months and months ago. So has that not been implemented?
as far as I'm aware of, not at the moment, correct. As far as I'm aware of, but I'll get the Kylie to answer for you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not aware of the months and months ago agreement, but the only thing that has been resolved in the last 12 weeks since I've been here is that we have agreed to support a one-off event, which was their economic forum a couple of weeks ago. And until that terms of the new agreement is settled, my understanding is that no further payments have been made. But I can take that on notice and come back to you with the terms.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, well, you should be aware that...
Councillor, please.
Please what?
You've had your say, okay?
Yeah, that's fine. We are determining
The money.
exactly. You know
The money has not gone.
that we have given them hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we just need to clarify that info is going to come back and we get a report on. I'm sure that's what Councillor Butson is talking about.
No, that's what the director is saying. Also, she'll give you.
I'm not talking about what the director's saying.
Well, then.
Councillor Butson and I asked a question. It's clearly about $300,000. Clearly, the director is new, so she might not know. That's fine. But you should know that we have resolved to give them hundreds of thousands of dollars. So,
And to my knowledge, that money has not been paid at the state.
Can we get a clarification on that,
We
then,
will.
Mr.
Thank you.
Mayor, and
Will do. Thank you.
bring
Thank
it
you,
back to
Councillor
council?
Baker. Thank you. Any other questions, councillors? This is Councillor Rebello.
I just have a DECMIL related clarification to give to Councillor Blanco, and this is because I'd written to the administration. So DECMIL wrote to us for the first time on 16/10/24, to which our legal representatives sent them a response on 17/10/24, in essence to say not to write to individual councillors. They then wrote to us again on the 13th of November, to which is the email that I forwarded to administration, and I got a response from the Director of Infrastructure along with a letter from the legal representatives, which was sent out. So all of this correspondence has been marked to mayor and councillors, so it's sent to everybody saying that not to contact individual date, 14th of November. And I believe the legal representative has written to them early November. I don't know the exact date, but the letter has been attached. So that's just for our records. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Abella. Any other questions? Councillor Butson, your event that you're organising this Friday that has now been cancelled, do you know when the refunds will be issued to those people for the tickets? Just
I think that you probably need to ask the organisers.
so you didn't organise it at all? So you didn't have any bookings under your name?
No,
No hall bookings under your name?
no,
Nothing at all?
no.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on. Item number 8, announced by presiding members about discussion. The presiding members' meetings for the month of October 2024 are printed in the agenda. Item number 9, declaration for all members give a show of hands that they've given all due consideration to matters contained within the paper, sorry, in the agenda. Show of hands, please. Thank you, everyone. Item number 10, confirmation of the minutes of a previous meeting. We have a simple office recommendation that before it that requires a simple majority vote. The council confirms the minute of the ordinary council meeting held on the 3rd of October 2024 are a true and a correct record. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Have a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Abello. Is anyone against? Motion is carried. Thank you. Before we move on to reports of officers, I'll remind members of the public not to take any action on council's decision unless it's on the city's agenda, which may they have an interest in. Upon formal notification in writing by the town has been received, decisions made at this meeting can be revoked in line with Local Government Act 1995. Item number 11, reports from communities. 11.1, audit risk compliance committee, there is nil. Item number 12, reports from officers. I would like to recommend that the following agenda items are shown on screen to be decided on block by council, which means that these items, which do not require a decision in favour of may be items that the council seek to remove the list if they want to. I'll give you a chance to have a look at those items. They're all simple majorities.
Mr Mayor, can I ask some questions about this now so I don't have to hold the meeting up for the rest of the night?
Certainly works, council.
Because I can.
Yes, I know that. Yep.
Yeah. But if we just get an explanation of some of these, I think most of them will go through.
Okay. What type of explanation on?
On 12.1.4,
Statement of financial security. Yeah.
payments under delegated authority. There is a payment in the sundries area for 327,000 to Fortescue. It's a large amount, so I'm sure somebody knows what it's for. Is that?
Yeah, I might just ask the director to answer that for you if you like. Steve.
Through the chair, I'll take it on notice. I've got an idea, but I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I'll send it around.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
okay. Yeah, thank you, director. Okay. Which other number, councillor, did you think?
Yeah, I've got some more. Hang on. On 12.2.3.
12.2.3.
Is 12.2.3 on
No,
there?
it's
It's
not
not
on- that's
on
not
there, so
there,
it
no.
doesn't matter. Yeah. On the 12.1.2, the policy review,
Yes.
on the asset management policy, can we find out how we're going with updating the asset management register, and when that's going to be completed? You know, this I suppose the audit and finance should have an understanding of this. You know, clearly we keep renewing the asset management policy, but we've got issues, you know, in updating the asset management register. So how are we going with that? And do we have a end date on completion?
I'll check with the director. Steve, did you?
Thank you, through the chair, and it is a big piece of work that has been picked up in some of our audit recommendations to improve upon. We have established at the town an asset management framework, and we've pulled together a project control group between both infrastructure and corporate services, and with the assistance of some consultancy in this space, have pulled together a lot of the documentation. As you see, this policy has come up. We've got a strategic asset management plan, a whole series of templates for our asset management plans. But it's a project that is certainly going to take us a number of months, and I can't see it being near completion when it comes to the asset attributes and the valuations being updated until at least sort of December next year.
Okay, thank you, Director.
On the policy 2007 procurement, I see that we have changed the panel's pre-qualified supplier goods and services from 1 million to 500,000. Now, I've asked this question quite a few times, because there seems to be some confusion around delegations. So now that it's isolated in this item, can I get an answer as to when specifically we change from 1 million to 500,000 on that section, the panels of pre-qualified suppliers for goods and services? What was the date that the change from 1 million to 500,000?
I'll ask the director. Steve, did you?
Through the chair, we will follow this up, but we've got a feeling it's around August 23 that the CEO's delegation was changed when the
That's what I heard, yeah.
delegation register went through.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just quickly review that, see what we're... Give me 1 sec.
While we're waiting, can I just request that 12.1.2 please be removed?
Sorry, which one, Councillor? 12.1.2. The policy review program.
12.1.2 policy review program.
You want that taken out?
Please.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr Mayor, I actually agree with all of that stuff.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Thank you, Councillor. Except for 12.1.2, we'll take that out for Councillor Christensen. Okay. Okay, so we have kind of an officer's recommendation before us that requires simple majority that we move the items en bloc as displayed on the screen, and we moved item number 12.1.2. Can I have a mover, please, for those en bloc?
So moved, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Blanco. Have a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Rebello. Is there any against? Motion is carried. Thank you, councillors. Two is fine. Let's move on to number 12.1.2 policy review program. Okay, so we have 5 office recommendations before it that requires a simple majority vote. Office recommendation number 1, that council adopt or revise the 20-020 credit card purchase policy. Can I have a mover, please?
Move, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Seconded Councillor Blanco. Is anyone against it, the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you.
What?
No, this is the first one.
Oh, we've got multiples, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, do one at a time. Yeah, okay. Officer recommendation number 2, that council adopt or revise the 9-10 asset management policy. Okay, can I have a mover, please?
Mayor.
Move, thank you, Councillor Blanco. A seconder, please. Councillor Rebello, thank you. Is anyone against the motion? Okay, Councillor Blanco, must speak to that, please.
Mr Mayor, I did go through this and yeah, it is a... I haven't got anything prepared for this one.
So you have any ways?
I thought it'd just go straight through. Anyway, the policy's been reduced a little bit, I see, but you know, we clearly have you know, a lot of issues with asset management, and we've had them issues from as far back as I can remember, you know, going back to 2015. We clearly have a lot of work to do. You know, the policy is a council policy to guide the staff in implementing the asset management of the town or register, and clearly that's it. The responsibility to ensure that the asset management is updated and up to date falls with the Audit and Finance Committee, and the Audit and Finance Committee should, you know, understand the position we're at in making, you know, in updating the asset management of the town. So the policy itself is just a guideline. You know, I don't really see any issues with it. You know, the issue I see is that the council does not put enough pressure on the administration to, you know, to ensure that the asset management of the town is updated, you know, and up to date. You know, clearly, I think the council should look into it a lot deeper. And, you know, we should be allocating more resources to ensuring that our asset management framework is complete. The reason for that is if you don't understand your asset, you know, list for the town, you can't then apply the appropriate funding to those assets to upgrade, renew, all of that sort of stuff. So, you know, clearly this is a, you know, is a council responsibility. You know, it's our policy, and we should be more focused on ensuring that this is up to date. And, you know, and also the Audit and Finance Committee needs to understand that. So then when it recommends to the council to adopt the policy, the council then understands that the Audit and Finance Committee, you know, has looked at all of this stuff and you know, and is giving us the right advice. You know, I question that. I question this all of the time. You know, again, the problems here fall on the council, don't fall on anyone else, because we are not pushing the right buttons to make this happen.
Thank you, Councillor Blanco. Councillor Ryan.
I will do a bit of a summary of what the asset management policy entails. So this policy was last reviewed in 2019, and we are now reviewing it to make sure that it is consistent with the standards or the industry standards and the standards that it needs to, the legislative standards that it needs to meet. Now, just to clarify to the public as well, that the scope of this policy is to do with infrastructure assets. So all other assets like fleet or IT, land or financial services are a separate thing. This asset management policy is just to do with infrastructure asset management. Now, what does the policy cover? Just in brief, it touches on the asset through its life cycle, the level of service it requires or these assets require, the financial bit, the workforce capability of maintaining these assets, the legislative requirements, and the risks associated with those, and to make sure that there is no interruption of service delivery. I would also like to note here that we did have a workshop in October to cover the asset management policy. So yes, that's just in brief. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Ryan. Is there anyone against? Yes, Councillor Christensen.
So, not disagreeing completely with my fellow colleagues on the table at the moment. My disagreement at the moment was something I voiced during the briefing session that we've had. Council will be aware of the journey that this administration has taken and the amount of time and effort it's taken to try and standardise our policies, procedures and the way that we're moving forward. Councillors will identify that we've got 5 policies coming up, and you'll see a distinct difference between the previous 4 policies to this one. Again, it's minor. It's not going to make or break the policy, but what I've learned in big organisations, if we allow changes, no matter how small, to keep interjecting itself every time we make adjustments and changes, how do we keep track of that? So my first concern around this one was the fact that it does fundamentally look different compared to the other policies that we have in place. So therefore I'm challenging, how do we keep standardisation if we're going to allow this to come in? The second one is, again, another little nitpicky thing, but it's a concept that I can't get rid of at the moment. I've voiced my opinion, as I said, at this council briefing session. If you take note of section 4 of this policy, where it talks around related documents, it states that there's key documents that inform this policy. And we were informed that these policies are not currently approved, nor are they available for reference if anybody was to require referencing. So again, it's not a make or break, and I highly doubt this is going to mean that I won't be able to support this current, I guess, version of the policy, but it would be remiss of me not to bring this up to my fellow councillors to hear your opinions and your thoughts on how we are going and tracking if we have to be the gatekeepers of this more sort of intricacies moving forward. So again, me personally, I don't like the idea of having documents referenced in policies that aren't available for reference. I think that, to me, doesn't show true transparency in what we deliver. As we've covered before, and on the bottom of this policy, it states that there is going to be, it will be reviewed at set times or when required. So my challenge will be that if these documents become available and approved by this council, then therefore we should then bring this policy back for a quick review. So again, it's semantics, for lack of a better word, more than anything. I think I'm still comfortable to allow this to go through, as it has demonstrated what we aim to do when we do review. It has identified a few changes that I believe are very beneficial for this administration, and one of the biggest ones I did notice in the change was the incorporation of risk and demand management. It wasn't there previously. It's pretty obvious now that we're going a clear direction, and a direction I'm happy with to see. As you said, Councillor Blanco, I think there's been a lack of focus on asset management, and this administration has made it very clear that their direction in the coming years is to focus purely and solely on that. But I wanted to have this debate so we can have this conversation and see where the council sits in the public forum on how onerous, I guess, we will be as gatekeepers. You know, are we want to hold ourselves true to what we are doing, aka keeping everything standardised, but also then holding ourselves to account, saying that there's documents there that people can reference, that they're available at the time of when they can reference it. So that's purely mine. Again, not going to make or break the decision for me, but interested to see what the councils have to say about it. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Anyone else for? Anyone against? Vote to sum up. Councillor Blanco.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Look, we're all aware, and for the public that isn't aware, a policy is not law. It is a guide that the administration should follow. But in saying that, we still have to follow all of the laws that are in place through the Local Government Act, the financial regs, and all of the other acts that come into play. As for the related documents that are not, current or really, they are a guide to the policy, which is a guide to the administration. But as long as we are following all of the legislative requirements, then you won't have a problem with me. But, clearly, if we don't, then, I'll be arcing up. So I don't have an issue with this policy. We should just pass it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Blanco. Now put to the vote. All those in favour? 2, 5, 6. Yep. Thank you. Pass. Absolutely fine. Thank you. Okay, officer recommendation number 3, that council rescind 1-016 workplace health and safety policy. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Is there a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Rebello. Is anyone against? Motion is carried. Thank you, councillors. Moving on, officer recommendation number 4, that council rescind 3-024 volunteering policy for the town of Port Hedland employees. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Have a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Rebello. Is anyone against the motion? Motion is carried. Absolute majority. Thank you. Officer recommendation number 5, that council adopt the revised 2-007 recruitment policy. Can I have a mover, please? Procurement policy. Got that one right? No, not yet. Okay, Councillor Rebello. Thank you. Is there a seconder? Councillor Blanco. Anyone against? Okay. Councillor Rebello, do you want to talk to it?
Okay. So, because I'll have the right to reply, at this point, just in brief, the delegation register has been amended to 500,000, and that is what was determined at the end of this year when delegation register was revised, at the end of the financial year rather, when the delegation register was revised. So that's the major amendment. And yeah, that's all at this point that I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Rebello. Councillor Blanco.
Mr. Mayor, I've asked multiple questions on this subject. I have a different view to most. The delegated authority of the CEO is one authority. The council issues that authority. I don't see how we can have 2 authorities, and like I said, I've spoken about that many times. We've been told previously that, it was 750,000 and $1 million, and we were told it was 500,000 and $1 million. My understanding is it's 500,000 because that is what the the council has resolved to give the 500,000 delegation to the CEO. And now we seem to be agreeing through this policy, but it has taken 12 months. So I don't have any issues with what I've read in the policy. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Blanco. Anyone against? Councillor Christie.
Right, very similar to the previous, I guess, a rebuttal I had just previous on the motion before. Again, technicality more than anything, but I'm in two minds when we start to name dollar values or name specific targets that are referenced in a more in my mind, a more superior document. So in my mind, I think it's a bit dangerous for us to be, not so much dangerous, but it allows for variation and change and some gaps in my mind for the understanding this policy is trying to drive. In my mind, I think it would be a clearer picture if this policy would actually guide the individual to the source of truth, in my mind. Again, I made this debate and I made this point at the previous council meeting. Unfortunately, not everyone's available to be there, so I want to make my point again clear here and see what everyone else thinks and what they might believe is adequate or not. So my biggest concern is, for example, we're talking about the $500,000. So it is referenced here that there's $500,000. I think it'd be more prudent on us to put in a location the individual can go to the source data, being the delegation register itself. That way we know that the delegation register is always going to be up to date and the source of the truth. Every time we amend it, it gets changed instantly. Whereas if we allow a policy to state a wrong number, as you've alluded to just previously, Councillor Blanco, this was wrong for a number of times and it only becomes correct once we re-correct or re-change this policy. Again, right now, I don't think this is a bigger issue to stop this from going through. However, I do want to take this opportunity to put my points through, allow councillors to have a think about it and see where they stand. And I'll be in their hands to see where everybody believes this should be. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. Anyone else for? Anyone else against? Let us know, Councillor Bello.
So I'll quickly respond to what Councillor Christensen has said, and he has brought this, this exact sort of query forward during the agenda feedback session as well. His opinion is that it should only that the 500,000 should be mentioned in the delegation register and nowhere else, and which has been. Now, this matter has been clarified, saying that the system will not allow, or the IT system will not allow you to exceed the delegated amount. So if you feel like even if it is not updated, I'm not saying I feel like I should start again. So the 500,000 is mentioned in the delegation register. It's also updated in the procurement document, and that is just for ease of access, as far as making sure that, or is everybody following it, or what if, it is, people do not refer to an X policy. Well, your system will not allow you to exceed that amount. So for me, that really is the acid test, and therefore I feel like this should go ahead the way it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bello. Going now to the vote. All those in favour? 6. Motion is carried. That's majority. Thank you, councillors. Okay, moving on to some block. It's done. Some 4 some block. 5. Block. 6 is on 12.2.3, isn't it? First lights program, yep, okay. Moving on to 12.2.3, the First Lights Major Winner Event 2025. We have 2 office recommendations before that requires absolute majority vote. 1, office recommendation is that council do not continue with the Odyssey Music Arts journey in 2025, instead research and update the 2026 festival concept in a business case with initial updates to council participating in the May 2025, and 2, pursuant to section 6.81B of the Local Government Act 1995 and authorise the Town of Port Hedland to make provision in the 2025-26 annual budget for the B expenditure of $30,000 for the 2026 Odyssey Festival concept research and business case. Can I have a mover, please?
Mr. Mayor, can I, before we go into that,
Yes, certainly, Councillor.
can I just ask why the 30,000 is an absolute majority? I would have thought this would come under, you know, just normal officer delegation. You know, and through the budget of the department of that specific department.
Okay, I'll just get a confirmation for you. Yes, Steve, shall I-
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Because we're committing ourselves to expenditure in the next financial year, the 25-26, we haven't actually adopted a budget for that year. It needs to be authorised in advance.
Okay, thank you. Does that answer your question, Councillor?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Rebello. Is anyone against? Motion is carried, absolute majority. Thank you. The next one is Office Recommendation number 2, that one endorse the First Lights drone show as a winter major event in 2025. 2, pursuant to section 6.81B of the Local Government Act 1995 and authorise the Town of Port Hedland to make provision in the 2025-26 annual budget for the C, inclusion of $150,000 funding from BHP and the Town of Port Hedland Events Partnership 2023-25 to support the First Lights drone show event to provide a high quality cultural experience, and D, transfer $150,000 for the public art funding to support the First Lights drone show. Can I have a mover, please?
Ask a question, Mr. Mayor, before we go on.
Yes, certainly, Councillor.
Okay, so Officer's Recommendation 1 talked about the 25-26 budget.
Correct.
Clearly, we haven't done that. But Recommendation 2 is vague. It says event in 25. So I'm assuming it's within the first 6 months of the following year, the first 6 months of 25. Am I correct or incorrect on that one?
Correct, the 2025, correct.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Move, thank you. Thank you. Councillor Christian has moved it. Have a seconder, please. To Councillor Rebello, thank you. Is anyone against the motion?
I am against, yes.
Okay. Councillor Christian.
Righto. I feel that with the reduction and the stopping of the Odyssey event as we formally know it, it's going to allow budget space in the coming budgets with the such a prominent and big event no longer being taken place. So I feel this specific event itself holds itself to a fairly unique opportunity presented to the town at the moment. I think it's no small secret that we hold Indigenous culture pretty strong to our hearts, and at the forefront of that culture is the ability and the I guess the magic of storytelling. Now you combine that with a newfound technology that the world is starting to embrace a whole lot more. I think this is a very unique, like I said before, a very unique opportunity that we can take to to really shine a light on a great story that will be founded through the community. This event not only will just be an event, it will be I guess a sort of a process by our community taking part in multiple facets, being through the storytelling itself and through designing some concept into this stage, but then also into that is also then to allow opportunities for youth and other people, not just the youth, but members of the public who are excited about technology and technology growth. They have the opportunity to work with the individuals and the engineers that bring the drones up to understand how this process works. So not only is it an entertainment side of it adventure, it's also a educational adventure. So I think this event ticks a lot of the boxes. As you can see, It's going to cost the town next to nothing in relation to reserve funding, as it will be put up by the BHP partnership amount, but also the public art funding support as well. So, as we all know, there's usually the public art doesn't tend to get a good look here. This is a different opportunity for us to show the community that public art is not just a sculpture or a painting on the ground. It's actually can be a lot of different things. So pretty exciting opportunity, I think, being presented to us, and I'm interested to see the other side of the coin where people don't feel this might be a good venture for the community or for the town of Port Hedland. So I'll leave it right there for now. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Councillor Rapallo.
Most of the points have been already made by Councillor Christensen. I would like to state here that we did have an internal workshop where the first light concept and the ones who brought it to Carnarvon presented to us. We also had agenda feedback last week. So I'll just try and summarize very quickly. Firstly, this is completely funded and it is not ratepayer funded. Let me clarify that first and foremost. 150,000 is being given as funding from BHP, and the remaining 150 is from the public art funding. Now, let me clarify for members of public what public art funding means. It means that every time there is a new development, it is mandatory that 1% of that is assigned for public art, or if not, then to a maximum of 150,000 is given to the town and then invested into any form of public art. In this case, my understanding is that that the developer is happy with us assigning it to this this experience. It's a unique experience. It is something that that a regional town really will look forward to. So firstly, it's completely funded. It's not a burden on ratepayers. Secondly, it is what you call an immersive drone experience. It will include prior to, so it is not just the event on the day, which is the event on the day, which will have live food, which will have the event in itself, which will have live music, food. It will be a family sort of atmosphere with family activities. It will also have this experience. That is one thing, but prior to that, there'd be a series of workshops on drones. So basically the community really get to participate in something unique. And so I would feel that this is, and it is also our major winter event. So if not this, there is nothing else that we are doing. And it is a very robust thing that is being proposed. We have looked at it as a council internally, and therefore I would support it. Just give me a moment, just thinking if there are any more points I need to make, because I get only the one opportunity. No, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Valley. Anyone against? Councillor Blanco.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not supporting it because I don't think it's been planned properly to integrate with you know, the festival events that we have in Hedland. I think you know, it is ad hoc planning. Now we have complained many times about the events that we have in the town of Port Hedland. All you councillors have complained to me about it. You know, I don't, you know, go to most of them, but I hear complaints from everybody. So I want to see that you know, our planning on our events is improved dramatically, because we've seriously gone backwards since the event time that we had between 2016 and 2019, where you know, we reduced the costs of events to ratepayers to zero, We had industry paying for all of it, and we had some great events that we were rolling out. And now, you know, we seem to be forking out a lot of money in events, and the quality of the events, you know, is complained about by the general public. You know, I understand that 150,000 is from BHP. That's, you know, I love them paying for everything. That's great. But 150,000 is our money. And, you know, it is wrong to say that 150,000 doesn't belong to the public. It does. You know, the people that have put in development applications have contributed to that fund, and they have been told that that money would go to visual concept art. You know, like the the kangaroos we used to have in South Hedland, like the dragons that are on the roundabout in, you know, next to Macca's in South Hedland. That's what, you know, the concept is, and that's what the developers have been told their money will go towards. Entry statements, that sort of stuff. So now we're straying a little bit from, you know, what we're telling the people that are contributing to this fund. And again, I remind council that all money that is in the town of Port Hedland bank accounts, whether it be unrestricted or restricted, is owned by the people. And, you know, we need to scrutinise all of the expenditure. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Blanco. Anyone else for? I'll also speak for the show. These people came and did a presentation to council last week, or before. And I think, Councillor Blanco, if you had to come to the presentation, you would understand this is a high quality show. It's a cultural experience. It was a really good presentation, and that's why I can really highly recommend this program. That's why I'll be voting for it. Thank you. Is anyone else against? That's for. You'd like to sum up, Councillor?
As always, thanks everyone for the debate. It's flown through pretty quick tonight. It's pretty cool. Nothing much more to touch on. I will touch on and echo what you just said, Councillor Blanco. I think it's onerous on us to spend every dollar, regardless of its origin, as wisely as possible. I used to have the analogy where I'd spend my own money wisely, but those that give me money even wiser. So I think that sort of mechanism, that sort of mindset shows true. But I think this sort of undertaking does exactly that. It drives home what we stand proud for as a community, and that's cultural. Second to that, I think the first recommendation covers, and I won't hide behind the truth that it's been me as one of the biggest grouches for planning and asking for more planning and more concepts before investing this money. However, I think we're starting to see those sort of, I guess, the rubber hitting the road, for lack of a better word. We're starting to see $30,000 investment into concept and research and business casing for the Odyssey Festival moving forward. If anything, I personally believe that this undertaking actually sees itself to our direction that we've been trying to establish for some time. Again, it touches on so many facets of entertainment, but then also education. And the thing I'm excited about the most is what we touched on during that presentation that the two members have already spoken through, was the potential chance for this to grow into something different. We're always proud to boast one of the highest percentages of diversity within our community. I think this will lend itself to other cultures, other groups being able to share their story or a story of their culture, which would potentially see a really nice and a pretty unique, again, opportunity for this town to grow off and to develop into something that we can hold into our own and see that flourish. So again, excited and pretty happy to see what this might turn into. However, on your points, Councillor Blanco, where you're stating that, you know, where people believe their money's going to, off the top of my head, and I'm happy to be corrected by the administration, but I'm fairly sure the members who this money is coming from have already been informed and spoken to, and they're very more than happy to support this moving forward themselves. So, again, it's both parties that are putting forward the money are more than happy, as it highlights what they stand for as a business. I think it stands its own weight in what our morals and our obligations are moving forward to the community. I honestly think this is a very good opportunity, looking us dead in the eye, that we can take with both hands and give to our community, and it will flourish and hopefully grow from here. So that's what I'm going to leave it at for now, and hopefully we get the endorsement behind this to see this come to fruition.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Richardson. Can we now put it to the vote? All those in favour? 1, 2, 3, 4. Those against? 2. Motion's lost. Okay, moving forward. 2.4, done. 2.4? Yep. 2.4, 12.2, yeah, Spinifex Spree, yeah. Okay, moving on to 12.2.4, Spinifex Spree Carnival 2025. We have 2 offered recommendations before us that requires, one requires absolute majority vote. The Council, pursuant to section 6.81B of the Local Government Act 1995, and authorise the Town of Port Hedland to make provision in the 2025-26 annual budget for the following event expenditure: $230,387 for the 2025 Spinifex Spree Carnival baseline requirements to ensure a safe event across 1.5 days. Can I have a mover, please?
Mr. Mayor, could I ask a silly question?
Yes.
Do we need to add 230,000 to the Spinifex Spree to create a safe event? Don't we already have safe events running at the town of Port Hedland?
I think this is... I hear what you're saying, Councillor.
So just quantify as well, because I'm just hearing what you just said. I don't think we're adding to it. I think that's the total value that we're going to accept for that event.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's what I believe. Yeah, it's a total. Not adding to it. That's the total event.
I'm going to vote against it. So, you know, you either explain it to me, because, you know, I'm getting silly comments from councillors to say that I don't attend briefings, which I don't.
And that's
okay?
why
and you know exactly why I don't do that.
Why is
so
that?
If you want to continue to say those sort of things, then you need to explain it to me now.
So why don't you come to the briefings?
I don't come to the briefing because it's dangerous for me to come to the briefings.
Why?
Okay, because
Point of order through the chair.
Councillor.
Can I please ask that we bring it back to debate? Question's been asked, can I have an answer, and then we go forward from the debate, please.
Okay. All right, can I have a mover, please? Sorry. Yeah. So the answer to the question has the $230,000 is for the total thing for the Spinifex Spree. Not adding to it. That's the total price. Yeah.
Through you, the Mayor, I will ask our manager to actually
that's
ask
fine.
those questions.
Yeah.
Yep. So as stated in the financial implications, we've calculated the cost of this event from what the cost of the event was prior to having the local lounge, which was $188,000. Plus, we've then added the local government cost index increase for every year since, and then within the 25-26 budget for the next year event, also added a 1% contingency, 1.2 premium for the Pilbara, and then there's a 10% contingency, and that cost is what the event will cost us from what it was in 2022-23 before we had the local lounge. Is that clear?
So that's your question, Councillor?
Why aren't we comparing it to last year's budget?
through the chair. It's not as simple as just comparing to last year's budget because the activities have changed. Also, council have asked us to take the event back to the same level of quality to as it was in the 22-23 event. As I've explained through the table, that's what the cost is to bring it back to that kind of level of event.
Okay, thanks. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Christensen. We have a seconder, please. Councillor Rebello, thank you. Is anyone against the motion? Motion's passed. Absolute majority, thank you. All right, next one, office recommendation number 2 that requires absolute majority vote. The council pursuant to section 6.81B of the Local Government Act 1995 authorise the town of Port Hedland to make provision in the 2025-26 annual budget for the following event expenditure. An additional $60,000 to ensure the 2025 Spinifex Pre-Carnival event provides a high quality headline entertainment and family activation in accordance with the community expectations and entertain option 2 of the officer's report. Can I have a mover, please?
Mr. Mayor, I have a question on that one.
Yes.
Again, the wording is a little bit strange. It says to make provisions in the 25-26 annual budget.
Correct.
But then the point is to add an additional 60 to the 25 Spinifex. So are we talking about that point there? Are we talking about the Spinifex in the first 2 quarters of 25, or are we talking about the Spinifex in the last 2 quarters of 26?
25, 26. Sorry.
Through the chair, the event occurs in July 2025, so it's within the 25-26 annual budget. Does that answer your question?
So it's not in this budget, it's in the following budget?
Correct.
Okay, thanks. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Because it was workshopped internally, Councillor Blanco, just for your, to add on to what has been said, the amount of 230,000 odd is to provide the exact same or the very baseline bare minimums of what was done in 2022-23. After that, for the past 2 years, we've had the Loco Lounge. So again, for your benefit, if you look in item number 12.2.4, look at page, in my document, it is page 82 and 83. I'm not sure what pages. If you turn around, it's on the big screen as well. So when we workshopped it internally, that 230K is just the baseline. If you want to do anything further or have an uplift to that, then there were 3 options given. There's an option 1, an option 2, and option 3. I don't want to go into the details because it's very clearly on the page, or if you turn around, it's on the big screen as well. So that is what the option in that in the officer recommendation means.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Rebello. Okay. Okay, can I get a mover, please? Councillor Rebello, thank you.
So I would like to move it with an amendment.
Yes, certainly, yes. What was your amendment?
And so then you can deal with the...
Sorry, before we continue, can we please move, second, and then request the amendment so we can actually have it get through the correct process, please?
All right, so I have a mover and Councillor Rebello, so a seconder. I'll second it. Is anyone against? Yeah. Your amendment?
Right. So the amendment was to change it to option 3 or to make it at 94,000. I would please request governance to put that section up on the screen. And then I'll continue speaking. So that's page 83 for me. Oh, it's a different page there. Yeah. So it would read an additional 94,000, and then all the remaining wordings can remain the same, and entertainment option 3 of the officer report. That's the amendment.
So you say, sorry, can you just make it verify and say you have from 60,000 to 94,000? Is that correct? So you're increasing the budget. Yeah. Yeah. We'll debate the first one first.
No, I believe we've moved an amendment, so we now need to debate that amendment.
Yes,
which means that we need to ask if anybody's against the amendment, and then before we go into debate if that's the case.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is there a movement on Councillor Bella removed it? Yes. Okay. Is there a seconder on that? Yeah, I'll second it. Is someone against? Okay. Councillor Bella.
I recognise that support for this around the council may not be strong, but it still needs to be put out there. All right, getting back to the debate. The 230,000 keeps Spinifex free at a reduced 1.5 days only. And it is at the very baseline. Now, I would like to reference community feedback. So the feedback that Spinifex is a much loved winter event. The feedback from the community has been that they are looking forward to very high quality entertainment. They, that they really appreciate coming to this event. They are looking forward to something that is large scale, like what is provided at a big city. They are looking forward to high quality live performances. I must also add here that we had earlier this month, we had the Youth Council. So we had 12 bright young people from the Youth Council who also had very similar feedback to give. So we asked them, and we didn't tell them we just asked them for feedback. And they said that, look, we attend the event. So these are young people from the age of, say, 14 to 21. We attend the event. We really look forward to those high quality performances. We would like to see live performances. This is something that they even went on to say that if we compare it with Karratha, I wish we had all the boating and camping stuff there as well. So they have a very different mindset. Now I am looking at a balanced, a very fair and a middle path. Everything costs money, and whilst I note and I agree that every dollar is to be spent very wisely, I also note here that we are a service-driven organization, and one of our key goals is also to improve livability of the people of Headland. This is a regional town. It's one of our main events that we conduct. What is it then ultimately that we are giving people? So we have approved now a baseline so that we do have Spinifex free next year. If you look at the options, what option 3 will say is that we then have the option of having, a touring musician or a live band. We also can look at, or the additional monies is for the whale activation. Now, I cannot explain to those who weren't there at the workshop because you would have to look at what it was. But for the ones like Councillor Christensen who was there, it is something that has been successfully done outside. And even the town about 3 or 4 years ago, we have had a sort of puppet activation very successfully done with great community feedback. So I would say that this has a very good chance of, and also to note that we have taken the Loco Lounge away. And I'm not saying replace it, but I'm just saying have a quality of event that we as a council are proud to offer what is it that we as a council are giving to our people then? There has to be something. When people go to Spinifex Spree, they should say that, hey, we did not have the Loco Lounge, but look, we have this new thing this year, something different. So the administration and council, the town is trying to do something for its different for its residents, and it is something that has been successfully done in the past. And this particular whale activation has also been successfully done. So it's not something new and different, not tried, that you're doing now. I would urge council to have a think. I understand that the general sentiment isn't there, but I'm still keen to put it forward to council and say, hey, let's think about it. And this is something that the community would love. It comes at an X dollar cost, but everything, every dollar is looked into at the end of the day. And we are a service organization. What are you giving, or what are we then giving people of a regional town? What are we giving the families of a regional town? That's all. I have the right to reply, so I will at that stage. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Bello. Look, I'll also speak for this program. I mean, Spinifex Spree is probably one of our premier events for Port Hedland. I mean, every community member looks for this event. I mean, it's our premier event. It's once a year, and I think the extra money put into it to make us different from other community towns in the Pilbara region, I think it's money well spent, because every kid, every family comes to Spinifex Spree, and I really feel if we want to be different to other towns, this extra fund for this budget for this project, I think it's fantastic, and I'll be voting for it. Okay, thank you. Anyone against? No one against. Okay. Okay, Councillor Christian.
Righto. Being that we're only talking about the amendment, not the substantial motion, I'll keep mine down to why I'm not supportive of the 94,000 as a per se. I'll leave my other debate points for there. I believe one of my biggest arguments in relation to removal of the Spiegel tent was the cost versus impact, I guess, equation. Right now we're talking about throwing some money towards the Spinifex Spree to bring it to what we class now as the base level. I'll have everyone understand that the increased investment for that is going to be to the equivalent of 42,386.49 cents over, and that is equated to about a 22.5% increase. Carry a couple of percentage points here or there. I'm not very good at maths, so on that, it puts it well and truly above 5% increase over the last 4 to 5 years. And again, 22% increase to a budget for an event, in my mind, is going to be amicable enough to be able to see where we sit as a baseline. We talk about baseline. How are we going to measure that impact of the next lot of investment if we don't understand the baseline? So I think it's very important that we don't get ahead of ourselves and start to invest money where we can't articulate or demonstrate the power of that investment, which I think we've been very good at doing over the last couple of years. Much to your point, Councillor Rebella, you did ask and put a question to council, I wrote it down here somewhere, in relation to what are we giving to our community. I draw reference to our increase in budget over the last 4 years. We've given a substantial amount. This community has had nothing but the best opportunities when it comes to events throughout that winter timeframe. You'll see that council tend to have debates and conversations around how much we should interject ourselves into the winter timeframe, being that it's the most prominent time for other events, organisations and not-for-profits to run their own events. So again, this town is definitely not spoilt for choice coming to the winter months. So quite frankly, I think it's a blessing that we've got the additional money to the event currently, so we can have a base level. My personal feeling on the matter would be it'd be great to see what the base level provides, how our community feel about that, and therefore we can make an educated decision when it comes to further investment down the road. So that's why I can't support currently the $94,000, and I'll leave my other debate points for the superior debate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Christian. Anyone else for? Anyone against? Councillor
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, Council, you told me that you want to take the event back to the quality of 22-23 level. And the officers have given us a report to support what the council wanted. Now you want to spend more, or there's a proposal to spend more, even after you've set a direction to the administration to bring the level back to 22-23. Without knowing the outcome of bringing it back to the 22-23 level on the additional expenditure that we're going to agree with when it goes back to this substantive motion. So again, this is an ad hoc sort of decision making. It's confusing everyone. I think we should stick to the original plan, the direction that council gave the administration, the report that's been given to the council that supports the direction that the council has told the administration to do. And, you know, I think we should just stick to that plan and see how it unfolds and see if we get a better quality event. And then obviously if we do get a better quality event and we have far less complaints, then, you know, we can look at improving it again, you know, in the next financial year. But currently, I won't be supporting this. I'll support the original motion to bring it up to that level, 22-23, and I want to see what sort of improvements are, you know, initiated to the community. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Blanco. Anyone has for? Anyone against? Councillor Blanco. Sorry about it. Yeah.
Just in summary, to make a few things very clear. The motion prior to this one was to retain Spinifex spray at the baseline. So that is at the bare minimum. Now, all of what I'm speaking is in the papers here. We have workshopped it and we have looked at it at agenda feedback time, but I will still go through it once again. So there is, if you look at the columns, column 3 will say service level compared to 2022. I will restrict my comments only to the additional amount that I'm requesting. So if you look at that, it clearly says that if you continue at this, you cannot actually, the service level is reduced. And so if you look at option 1 and you're assigning 10,000, you have a very small live performance. If you look at option 2, you're sort of having a solo act, and so you're adding to the baseline. And if you look at option 3, you're significantly adding to the baseline. Again, none of the amounts spent are comparable to what was spent for the Spiegel tent, or which is Spiegel tent / Loco Lounge. So coming back to, there is no, just to clear the matter, there is no confusion here. What we have approved is the baseline, and administration has given us the option to add on if council so decides. So that is a decision of the council. Second thing, this is definitely not ad hoc. The reason we have looked at it through a workshop, we have looked at it internally this past month. The reason it is coming now is because all bookings, this is a July 2025 event, all bookings, any live act, anything else that you want to have, you need to book them well in advance. So it is not really ad hoc, it is you're bringing it now to be able to secure that 8 months later. And thirdly, just to answer Councillor Christensen's question, if I look at cost versus impact, the additional amount is 34,000 for the whale activation, which again is not anything that has not been tried elsewhere. We did try it here in a different format about 4 years ago successfully. So I'm saying assign this for a very good possibility of it to be successful. And I will limit my comments now just to the additional amount, so I'll stop with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bello. Okay, put to the vote. All those in favour? Okay, those against? Okay, that motion is lost. Thank you, councillors. We'll go back to the original motion.
Before we call to that,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, can I just foreshadow, please?
Yes, certainly. Yep.
I'll foreshadow option 1, thank you.
Option 1, we've already done option 1.
No, we haven't. We've only just done option 3. We are now talking through the officer's recommendation being option 2, the $60,000. I'm now foreshadowing the motion to call for option 1. Please, and thank you.
Okay.
Mr Mayor, can we just give me a couple of minutes so I can have a look at option 1? Does anyone have a page number on option 1? Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yep.
You okay, councillor? Yeah, okay. So you're going to go option number 1, foreshadow that? Just double checking.
No, I just foreshadowed option 1, yeah.
Option 1, okay. Yeah, okay. You'd like to move that option?
I'd like to move the foreshadowed motion, yes, so
Okay.
we can deal with the officer's recommendation.
Okay. Is there a seconder?
You don't need a seconder to foreshadow.
Oh, for sure, yes, okay. Yeah, okay. Councillor, move it.
Clearly not if I'm going to foreshadow it, no. So you need a call for the original officer's recommendation.
Yeah, which is number 1.
Mr Mayor, we have got a mover and a seconder in.
Option 1.
In
Recommendation 1, yeah.
Okay, so it goes to debate, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got to move that in a second.
So who moved it?
Yeah, she moved it, I seconded it, that's right. Who against it? You're against it? Oh, you moved for shadow, that's right. Okay. 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 Councillor Ballard, sorry, yep.
I've said a fair bit in the first part or in the amendment that I proposed. All I can say is that the additional 60,000 is to ensure that we have a headline act in terms of music. It is something that has come back as feedback from the community and a broad section of the community, that being family with children as well as the youth. It is a fairly, it is an amount that we can set aside and then assess if at the end of the event, if that has been well spent. It ensures that there is that headline act and the ability for the event to be fairly presentable or give something additional, because bear in mind we will not have the local lounge, and so then there is that gap and you're trying to in a way address that gap, and hence I would be in support of officer recommendation 2.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Ravello. I also support the alternate number 2. As I said, Civic Esprit is a highlight event for our town and our community, and activating for family entertainment is a very, very important thing for the town. So I'll also be for that as well. So anyone's against? Yes. Okay, so Christensen.
Rightio. I wouldn't mind putting some questions to yourself, Councillor Rebello, on some of your decisions, and I'll look forward to hearing what you're going to say during your sum up if you want to do it there, or you can do a point of reference if you want. Interested to see you made twice reference to the previous event that was held for the giant puppets that was conducted in the grass area here, and you talk around the success of that event. So interested to see where your measure of success was for that event and where this measure of success will be for this event. Again, it's a new concept, it's a new idea, it hasn't really been spoken through in much detail in relation to where that fits into the, I guess, the expected outcome we wish to receive. As we spoke around before, the local lounge was fairly targeted and fairly direct with what we wanted to do with that. I believe this investment doesn't have that sort of, in my mind, that sort of oomph behind it. You also then did make reference to this item will bring a headlined music act with that, so I will suggest that you can have the exact same option with option 1 for $50,000 less. So last time I checked, the touring act here will be at $10,000. You can see here touring solo or duo act, although not necessarily to the higher level of what people believe is a quality act. However, I put down that majority of people's opinion of the level of quality is down to subjectivity at the most obvious. Not many people in my family enjoy my taste of music, and I'm assuming that'll be around everywhere. So I don't want to be allowing subjectivity to be the driving force behind a measurement of success. So again, my mind would be to support the foreshadowed motion as it does allow for a little bit more targeted approach to having a music act on the stage during the day on top of the baseline, and we'll see where other councillors seem to think that sits as well. So I'll leave it there for now, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Christensen. Anyone else for? Anyone's against? You'd like to sum up, Councillor?
Yeah, can I, no, I'm not summing up. I'll speak for it.
Yep.
Well, it's the original motion, like I said previously. So, you know, I supported the original. You know, there was an amendment put. I didn't support the amendment. And that's what I said in my argument previously. I support the original, which was, I was told, brings it back to the same quality as the 22-23 level. Right, so, you know, that's where I'm setting my baseline on.
Point of clarification for yourself before we continue, if I may.
No, you may not. No, you can talk about it in your own section.
Okay, so I will put a point of clarification because what you just stated is factually incorrect. So I'm entitled to that and it's not your decision. Mr Mayor, I'd like to make a point of clarification.
Point of order.
Upheld.
We're in debate, Mr Mayor.
Upheld. Councillor.
So what I'm asking is that for a point of clarification, the member to my left just made a statement to say that this officer's recommendation is going to allow it to go back to the base. Is asking for the base plus $60,000 is what I'm trying to get to, which is not what you just said. So there's a point of clarification, thank you.
Okay, my understanding of what I've been told when we first came into this item is we're bringing it back to the 22-23 level. Okay, so improving from what we had previously, we're going back to the 22-23 level. I wasn't corrected on that when I spoke against the amended motion. Okay, so I don't understand why, you know, now I'm being corrected when, you know, the original explanation was the same. Anyway, I'm happy to support the motion, you know, based on effectively we're going back to the 22-23 level. All right? And that is what the officer's recommendation supports, and that is what the council has told the administration to do. So you know, let's do the event and let's see what sort of an outcome we have. And then next year we can work on improving it again.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay. Yeah, Councillor Rebelli, let's up, please.
All right, just to clarify, if we turn around to the big screen, Officer Recommendation 1 has already passed with absolute majority. That is for 230,387 for next year's Spinifex pre-carnival, and that is to continue it at the bare minimum. What we are looking at is the original Officer's Recommendation number 2 at this time, which is, it's on the big screen there, for an additional 60,000 to ensure that we provide a headline entertainment and for family activation, and which then I will reference entertainment option 2. So just to be very clear, the recommendation part 1 has already passed, which is the carnival at a baseline. This is for the second part, and this is for an additional 60,000. Now I'll continue with the debate. So, yes? All right. Yes, so just to cover in brief, and I do understand that support around the council is very bleak for this one, but I would request you to open your minds and hearts to this one, all right? Okay, so what is the measure of success if we compare it with the puppet activation that we had in the front lawns here 3 or 4 years ago? Well, it is, you cannot compare apples to apples because there was a different sort of survey then. But what I can say is it is not a very brand new concept that you're doing. Yes, you've not had the whale activation year before, but it has been successful elsewhere. You have we have the ability of having a market survey afterwards, so you know exactly whether you have got the outcome that you desire or not. Now, what is the outcome that you desire? The outcome is that we have family and kids being able to, and even young people being able to enjoy that puppet activation. So that is the outcome that we desire. The monies that we are wanting to set aside is the 10,000 that you are proposing plus the 50,000. Now here it is for that amount is for a touring solo act or a duo act, and it is for the whale activation. So I'm just clarifying it is for both of these things. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Let's put it to the vote.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Barlow. Okay, all those in favour? Those against? Motion's lost. 4-2. Motion, yes. Okay. This is the first shadow motion. Yep. You made it? Okay. Is there a seconder? Is anyone against? Motion's carried. Okay. It's on the foreshadow motion. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to that's on block. Block. Move on to infrastructure. 12.4.1. Infrastructure. Yeah. Okay. Move on to 12.4.1 infrastructure services. We have two officer recommendations before us. One requires absolute majority vote for the council pursuit to S6.8 of the Local Government Act 1995 and amend the 2024-25 annual budget as displayed. Can I have a mover, please? Okay, there it is.
And just give me a minute, I just need to have a look at my notes. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
You happy, Councillor? Okay. Yeah, okay, yep. Okay, all right. Okay, can I get a mover, please, on that? Councillor Bello. Thank you. Is there a seconder? I'll second it. Is there anyone against? Motion's carried. Okay, officer recommendation number 2, that requires a simple majority vote. The council authorise the Chief Executive Officer to enter into a contract for the award several portions 1 and 3 only for RFT 2425-07 Marquee Park Open Space redevelopment to XX for a total amount of XX including GST. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Rebello. Anyone against the motion? Motion is carried, absolute majority. Thank you, councillors. Where are we next? Next one, I've got to 4.2, that's on block. Cool, 4.3. 4.3, yeah. Okay, moving on to 12.4.3. The award of RFT 2425.15 Cook Point Shared Footpath Construction. We have 2 officer recommendations before us. One recommendation requires an absolute majority vote. The council, pursuant to section 6.81B of the Local Government Act 1995 and amend the 2024-25 annual budget as per published in the agenda as presented on the screen. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Christensen. Is there a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Rebello. Anyone against? Motion is carried. Councillors. Officer recommendation number 2 that requires a simple majority vote. The Council 1, note the proposed delivery of stage 1 of the previous endorsed concept alignment covering Sutherland Street to Dempster Street footpath scope, and 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to pursue grant funding for stage 2 under the Western Australian Bicycle Network WABN grant funding scheme and other funding schemes in future application rounds. And 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to enter into a contract for the award RFT 2425-15 to XX for the amount of XX including GST. Can I have a mover, please? Move. Thank you, Councillor Christensen. I have a seconder, please. Councillor Rebello, thank you. Is anyone against the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you, councillors. 12.5, Executive Services, there is nil. Item number 13, New Business of Urgent Nature. Later item, there is nil. Item number 14, motion to approve as notice, there is given, there is nil. Item number 15, which meeting may be closed for confidential matters. we have to recommend us with simple majority vote that council close the meeting to members of the public as described under section 5.23 of the Local Government Act to consider number 15.1. So I'd like to just close the meeting now to the public. No, move it, sorry. Go seconder, please. Thank you. Okay. Members of the gallery, can you please depart? Thank you very much, and thank you for your was basically the councillors decided to defer this item number to the December council meeting.
Point of order through the chair.
Yes.
We need to open the, we need to go through the mover and seconder to
Come back out of
out of confidential.
Okay. All right. Move it. Seconder. Councillor Weller. Okay. On against. Thank you. Okay. Okay. On to number 16, closure. 16.2, the date that next ordinary council meeting will be held on Wednesday, the 11th of December 2020.
Point of order through the chair.
Yep.
You would need to read out, the chair would need to read out the confidential.
I did read that.
All right.
Yeah, I did read that. Yeah. Is it a deferral? Yeah, I did read the deferral out. Sixth council will be held on the 11th of December 2024 at 5:30 p.m. 6.2 enclosure. With no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 7:40 p.m. I'd like to thank councillors, members of the public, CEO, and the new director and acting CEO for the attendance tonight. Thank you very much.